people, it's time to talk the thing with Kim. I'm Mr. Fresh Concept, filling in for Kim. Yeah, I saw the traveling thing go right now. Big up to Kim. Big up to DJ MV Stone. Big up to Boss Lady Bree. Yeah, that's Brittany. Big up also to Adenike. Yeah, new girl on the block. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope you guys are having a great week. It's been a rough one. It's the end of the month, basically, for June. Next week will be July. So pretty much, guys, we're at the halfway point of 2025, 6 months in. Wow. The time has flew by. Still a lot left to do, but guess what? We're going to get it done, right? So I want you guys to follow me in our discussion. You know, June, it's all about men's mental health. And we have been focusing with topics that are geared to ensuring that we find ways to get our men help, advice, and also help us to keep an eye out on things that, you know, we need to pay attention to. Yeah? All right. So today we'll be asking, what stresses a Jamaican man the most? Wow. A very heavy topic, a very big one, and trust me, there are a lot of stressors out there, but we try to pinpoint what do we think is the big stressor. Ladies have been sending in their suggestions so far. Ladies have been sending in their answers. We got some via WhatsApp as well. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think is one of the biggest stressors for our Jamaican men? For man like myself, yeah. What would you say is the biggest stressor? What stresses us out the most? All right. Now, in our society, cultural norms, economic realities, and social expectations, they place an immense pressure on our men. All right, including myself, yeah. And from an early age, we are groomed to be a man. Like a phrase that's often pushed, you know, to us to say, listen, man up, be a man. So that means that we have to be resilient, independent, and also show a form of stoicism. Sometimes at the cost of our emotional well-being and also our mental well-being. Yeah? The state, just be a man. That is our option. We don't have any other option but to be a man. Right? So we're going to look at the top 5 stressors that Jamaican men commonly encounter each day. Nowadays, I should say. And along with that, I'm going to try and give you some advice how to cope and how to overcome them. But before we get into the top 5, let's look at what I would like to call some honorable mentions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop some of the comments that I've got from persons online and via WhatsApp. So earlier in the show, Kenisha mentioned that society puts a lot of pressure on men to, you know, do this and be that, and you have to have this amount of money, you have to have house and car and land. So she believes that's one of the big stressors, one of the things that stresses men out the most. On our Instagram live earlier, I see where Unbeatable Champion says cheating and she laughs. It's Gold Gem says bun. So pretty much on the same line there. Unbeatable Champion says him love cheat, but when the woman cheat, it stress them out. Oh jeez. Wow. It's Gold Gem sums it up and says bun, stress, and money. So she says stress me out. Lots of other answers coming in as well, but I'm gonna give my few that I've got and put together so far. All right, so very much people, you know, we're in Jamaica, right? So I would say one of the things that stresses Jamaican men, speaking from experience as well, is crime and violence. Like, I don't know, many men, especially younger ones, grow up in communities plagued by crime, violence, gang war, gang conflict, and on the other end of the spectrum, there's police harassment. A lot of men will complain about that. Am I right or am I right? You know what I'm saying? So men already are in a society nowadays where, 1, crime is happening around us. 2, there either being influenced to join the criminal activities, or you're looked upon as, you're a punk if you don't join. So it's like there's a straight pressure for you to be a criminal off the bat, or you have to be in a community that is, you have to come off of the road quick. Sometimes the parents will say, young man, stay where you are, don't come in, because crime out there, or there's war on the road, or whatever it is. So as a man, you can't even go into your house or come out in peace, because as a man, you'll be targeted, because they might say, okay, him in the war too, as a man. While they might see a lady and say, no man, make she pass, she ain't nothing. Sometimes the men are targeted because they come from a certain community, or they might be wearing the wrong color. But it's definitely something to consider as one of the things that stresses Jamaican men. Because if you're not a person that's involved in criminal activities and violence, you don't feel safe. You have to be on the lookout, because you don't know who come rob you, who come this, you know what I'm saying? So you are already stressed. And then also, you have to be looking out for your loved ones as well as the man. So I think that's a notable mention, crime and violence. ANC says unemployment, and she says, yeah man, true, as it relates to crime and violence. I see Unbeatable says, let me just pull up that comment quick and fast. I see some comments there from Unbeatable. All right. So the first one I mentioned as a notable mention is crime and violence. Unbeatable says they stress about their lady cheating, and they stress about financing. All right. Number two, one of the other mentions that I would like to make when it relates to things that stresses Jamaican men: health concern and the fear of aging. Now, you see, when you grow up as a man, as a youngster, as a youth, you're not really too worried about health. You just live your life, but once you hit probably 30, probably 25, so some people, some younger ones are more aware. When you hit about 30, you start to get into concern with health concerns, like, oh, you have to get this check, what happens to my blood pressure, all of these things. Men become concerned, because we often ignore it in our early ages. But then when it get closer to 30, 40, when everything start happening, we say, boy, why this pain up? Why may I see this, can't move my shoulder like that? When you become older, men are more stressed with health concerns. Some don't even want to go to doctor because they're stressing about the hospital bill. We don't even know, like if you realize some men don't even go to the doctor because they stress about that as well. Me don't want to go to the doctor, they're going to tell me this and that wrong with me. Health is one of the things that stresses out Jamaican men. Now, here's another one of the things that stresses out our Jamaican men: academic pressure. Yeah, expectations from your family or society to achieve academically, especially without proper support systems. Now, while we can say that both men and women do get a share of that academic pressure, we do find more persons interested or willing to find help for the females or the ladies when it comes to education and so on. You might find more persons willing to fund a woman's education versus a man's education. You might find persons considering, yeah man, get her some tutor, get her this and that. I'm not saying they don't help the men, but usually most of the men have to find these avenues themselves. They have to tread these paths themselves. They have to find them own money to put themselves through school most of the times. Most of the times, even these same men who should be going through schools are funding the woman's education in the meantime. So the man not get to go to school, but he's putting his money towards his girlfriend or his wife or, his partner for them to complete the higher education. While the men, they're expected to be smart and knowledgeable without the proper support system. So that's another stressor that plague our Jamaican men. As I tell you, man have it rough, I know the ladies, they have that big hurdle of safety and security because, once again, the criminal elements prey on the women, right? So we're always looking out for their safety. But otherwise, men have a lot to go through because they have been put on the end where they say, listen me, you guys are the ones to carry the load, you guys are the protectors. All of these things fall on the men's shoulder. All right. On people says they also stress about pressure to provide job stability and peace of life. Yeah, and that is going to be mentioned coming up in our list as well. All right. So other than academic pressure, health concerns, and crime and violence, men also are stressed by peer pressure and masculine competitiveness. Yes, people. Peer pressure and masculine competitiveness. As a man, like generally as you're just basically going through your life, you automatically have to prove yourself. You need to prove yourself to your peers. You need to prove yourself through whether it's material success. You need to prove yourself, oh, you haven't much woman. You know, I'm no girl yet, brother. You know, I'm no youth yet. You know, or you have to be strong. You have to be aggressive. Yo, brother, you're so soft. Yo, you know, fight the man. Men have this pressure to be masculine or aggressive, and it comes from peer pressure, and it's a stressor to some men, to most men if not. Imagine you are a youth, you just want to go to school, you just want to learn the books. Two youth are going to come to you and say, yo brother, fight that youth there. Just have the bat, because we want to show you, say, you're strong, him stronger than him, you have to be tougher. You know what I say? Like, just so, like, I don't know, the need to prove yourself is upon us. A man will look at you and say, yo brother, what kind of car you have? Wow, that old car that you drive. Like, you have to have, you know, I'm the house yet, you how much 30 something, you know, I'm the house yet. All of these pressure come down on the men. And yes, it's a big stressor, and it's one of the big things that stresses Jamaican men. All right. Another issue is legal issues and criminal records. You know, Jamaican system stay. Most of the issues that we have are bigger than us, but it's still something that affects us. So even minor offenses can have lasting effects on a man's opportunity and self-worth. You have a little mix-up with the police, they might go hold you for 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days, because you're a man. Yes, you dip on the ends, police pull up on the scene, oh my gosh, your man, hold a brother there, because you're a man. Fling him in the back of the jeep, you get rough treatment, you have problem finding a way out, just because you're a man. Sometimes they might give a lady the blind. You know what I say? But for the man them, we do get excess pressure when it comes to legalities and, you know, dealing with the police force and so on. We have Fiona checking in. Good evening. How do you do? How are you? And the topic for today. Well, the topic for today, we're looking at what stresses a Jamaican man the most. What stresses a Jamaican man the most? All right. And we've been looking at things such as one, crime and violence, health concerns. We're looking at academic pressure, peer pressure, and masculine competitiveness. We'll be looking at some more points, and then we'll be jumping into the top 5 biggest stressors for Jamaican men. Fiona says one that I've been trying to tell people, women. Women are one of the biggest stress. And guess what? The crazy thing about it is not really saying women is the stressor, you know. It's basically what women do, well, what some women do, or what some women entail. That's where the big stress comes in. But we're going to talk about that when we get into the top 5. All right? Now, another one of the stressors that we've been looking at is sexual performance and fertility issues. Oh my. This one is big. It's often unspoken of, but it's very impactful. Many men stress over their sexual performance or their inability to conceive. First thing first, as a man, as soon as you're, you know, of age, or you're going into the dating world, or you're looking at a wife or whatever it is, one of the first things you start to worry about, is it big enough? Can I keep it up long enough? Am I a good performer? Am I weak? You know, do I know all the styles? You know, am I able to bring forth youth? Am I a gelding? Am I what do you say, a guinea? All of these things are stressing the men then. And We often don't talk about them, but they are things that definitely affect the men. And it's a very big one, and this is a big one, and it's not even in the top 5 because there's so many others that take precedence to sexual performance. Because right now, sometimes you will say, okay, the ladies will work with the man, the ladies will, teach the man certain things. So this big sexual performance is not even so big anymore because one, probably we have pills that can help, we have like a medication that can help, and there are fertility drugs. There's also adoption and all these things that can fill in the gap somewhat. But otherwise, men stress over their sexual performance and fertility issues. As a man, you want to know that you can perform. Ladies, them say them want all night long. What? We have to go stand up to the challenge. Like, I don't know. I don't think women understand the pressures that men go through on a daily basis or in our general lifetime or life cycle. But man, we don't talk about these things. But they are things that affect us and affect our mental state. Later down in the show, we're going to look at how we can overcome these stressors. But it is a stress point for men. All right? And one that really affects us as well is a lack of purpose or direction, especially when you're a man. As I said, when you're young days, you run around and you do all sorts of foolishness. That's fine. But when you start to become 20, 25, going to 30 and onwards, you tend to want to, reflect, and you're saying, have I did what I could, did I do what I did what I could, what I did, I could what I did. I don't even remember how it go, but you're trying to figure out, did I accomplish all that I needed to? Am I lost? Can I, still do what I want to? Am I motivated to achieve my goals? These lack, kind of eat away at our existence as men. And it is something that is stressing. A lot of men out there worry about their accomplishments and their purpose. Have they followed the right path? And as I said, these items, they might not be in the top 5, but they are very big and there's things to consider. I'm going to run through them once again, and then I'm going to begin with the top 5 biggest stressors for Jamaican men. What stresses our Jamaican man? Yeah, I'm going to tell you a few of them. So let's go through the first set. These are not in the top 5. These are just some additional ones, and I'm going to add some as well. So 1, crime and violence. Yeah, exposure to crime and violence, whether in the community or, schools. Men are faced with this pressure. And it's not just seeing it or having it be around us. It's as the man, you're expected to be the protector in these situations. You're expected to be able to survive if you're placed in the battlefield for your family. 2, health concerns and the fear of aging. Yeah, when you reach a certain age, 25 onwards, 30, 40, you're trying to say, am I heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, all these things come upon us. Mostly because men tend to ignore it when we're younger. Some ladies, they keep the regular checks, them do them, monthly checks, weekly checks, yearly checks. Man, we just live life till we reach about 35, then we say, okay, maybe I need to check in with the doctor. And then all the problems come down at once. Academic pressure. We're expected to be, high achievers, even though most of the times the men are the ones who would have to probably fund their education. Probably meanwhile, we're trying to fund our partners or other families' education. We're expected to be smart and know all, even without the proper support. Number 4, peer pressure and masculine competitiveness. We have to prove ourselves as men as we reach a certain part of our lives. Is either you reach college and say, brother, how much woman you have? You don't have no woman. You have no youth. You're gelding. You're soft as you can't beat up the man there. All of these pressure come upon us to be masculine, to be tough, and to be a conqueror of the women. Why? Where? I suppose you can find one woman and settle down. No, you have to be a gallus. All of these pressure come down on men, and yeah, it is stressing because society expects this of us. Legal issues, criminal records, minor offenses can affect a man. You can land him in jail. 50 years this man was in jail for something he didn't do. Probably a woman would have a better chance. But once you're a man and you're reaching the system, they treat you as a criminal whether or not they have the proof. You know what I'm saying? It's very rough. 6, sexual performance and fertility issues. Men have to be, you know, the all-night man. Men have to be the brother where bring forth 1,000 youth. Have to be fertile. You can't be a jellyback. You can't be a guinea. Men have to stand up to the occasion. And yeah, we worry about, oh my, is the lady's gonna say, you know, going to tell her friend, say, boy, this man you're not going with, you know, him soft. All of them stressed at the point, you know, we don't know how to cope. But we're gonna give some tips when we come back after the break. And number 7, the lack of purpose and direction. You know, where are we going? What are we doing? Have we accomplished all our tasks? Have we become the man that we should be? All those are stressors that affect us. And we're gonna look at the top 5 in a few. So top 5, number 5 in the list. We're gonna start from 5 and go up to 1. Ladies are commenting on the live. Big up to you. Thanks very much for your comments. I see it's Gold Gem still with us. Fiona Monique jump in as well, and she's laughing. I think she's laughing at the performance all night part. Fiona says stress of losing their jobs. It's Gold Gem says underpay. Fiona says the pressure of getting old. I tell you, as an old man, no matter you have to go be sugar daddy. You have to have 6 car. You have to own plaza. Just so because you're the man. Alright? Now let's look at number 5 on our list. And that comes into play with the pressure of getting old. Number 5, societal expectations around masculinity. What do I mean by that? Men are often taught to hide their feelings, avoid vulnerability, and stay emotionally stoic. That means don't show any emotion. Be emotionless. Expressing sadness or anxiety is frequently seen as a weakness. This leads to bottled up emotions and eventually mental breakdowns. And this is what Kenisha mentioned earlier. Men are pressured by society to show no emotion, to be a man, to man up. You can't bawl. You can't bawl, me Jenna. Man no fi cry. Man no fi have emotions. Like, I don't know how we're expected to do that when we are made from the same flesh and bones and blood. I don't know. How do we cope? Well, I mean, I have some examples for you here. And the pressure with it, especially when it comes to relationships, the woman they want a tough man, but we must be emotionally intelligent. We must be in touch with our emotion, but we not be soft. We must be tough. We must be manly, because she wants a king, a manly man. All of these pressures, you know, expected on the Jamaican man. And we don't have any books to guide us. Well, there are books to guide us, but we never get any manual when we were growing up. We were grown to be tough, and then we were expected to be something else. Now, how do we cope as men in this situation? We need to normalize emotional expression. Men should be encouraged to talk about how they feel without judgment. And the rough part about this is that some men have tried to express their feelings. Women have said, okay, we're going to create a safe space, express how you feel. And then 2 days later, we are the trending reel on social media. They say, okay, man, you can go ahead and bawl, you know, show your emotions. We try it, and the next day, we are the reel that's being shared around. We need to create a space that we can share our feelings as men without being judged and without being the cause of laughter from society. Mental health education. We need to promote mental health awareness in schools, workplaces, churches, and we need to break the stigma. Also, we need role models in society to encourage the men. encouraging public figures to speak openly about their struggles and also how this can influence change. So this is it. Funtastic Friday is starting the trend. We're making a change and we want to normalize emotional expressions from men, and we're not going to let society laugh or make a mockery of us because you said we need to do it. You said we need to show our emotion. We need to be more in touch with our emotions. Well, when it comes, people, we can't laugh after because we are humans. When you want us to break down this tough side, we're going to have to shed a little tear here and there. We're going to have to talk about our vulnerable emotions. And ladies, it's your responsibility to accept us and not to judge us. We're going to go to the break. We got the rest of the top 5 items that I think stresses a Jamaican man the most. That's our discussion session today. What stresses a Jamaican man the most? Drop your comments on the live. We'll be right back after the break.